Welcome back to the Lights at Full podcast. I am Brian Smith. With me, as always, is my co-host, Brent Schmidt. And today we are going to talk about rigging, stands, all those sorts of things. And we're just going to get this disclaimer out of the way now before we get into the rest of it, because some lighting or production professional may call us out on this. Yes, neither of us are certified riggers, but that is exactly the point of this episode, because we're talking mostly to DJs, and the majority of DJs are not certified riggers. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about things that you need to keep in mind, how to do it safely, when you should be bringing someone in to do this that is not you, and what you shouldn't be doing. But before we get into our main topic, we've got our segments. And our first segment, we are going to do a little event recap. So Brent's got an event recap for us. And then I think we have some rants and some other things that we're going to do, but we'll start off with the event recap.
Yeah. So last week kind of started weirdly on like a Sunday. We did our local NFL team's foundations golf outing down at a PGA course. And that was kind of just 2 days of not only setup, but then also the event. So I had a lot of time to sit there and, do work while everyone was playing golf, which I was kind of really dying to just go out in the course and hit some balls. But, hey, I had a job first. So I actually was able to get some of the episodes done prior to. So actually the episode that posted before this one was done on the golf course. So fun facts, if you want a little behind the scenes of how that one finished off. And then we went back down to Akron, Canton, Mogador area for Banger in the Hangar with the Goodyear company. They had some events going on, and a local DJ friend of mine brought us in to do like the lighting production and sound. So we spent 2 days down there as well, creating this setup. And let me tell you what, blimp hangers are flipping huge. Huge, like insane. Like the doors just opening up. It almost took it didn't take an hour, but it was like 15 minutes. I was like, good gosh, this is insane. So we did that. We actually had a really cool rig for lighting. There was a video wall behind the stage, and then we were supposed to have like a goalpost truss to go behind the stage, but I didn't know there was a video wall. So what we ended up doing was attaching 2 truss pieces to our base plates and kind of having them close together. And I'll actually put a photo up of this in post here. And we had about 14 of the Chauvet DJ Shocker Panel FX fixtures. And I told my main guy, Paul, I was like, Paul, just go crazy with how you do the lights or whatever. So we ended up splitting it 7 and 7 on either side of the stage and kind of did this little pattern thing. And it actually looked really cool, for the event. And we did, some branding, company colors for the majority of the event. And then once the main DJ kicked off, we kind of just, did some color programming and such with that. So I thought it ended up looking out really cool. And we did some, tubes, and we had to have some key light for the headlining DJ that was Nuzu, I think that's his name. Some
Noizu?
European Noizu. Yeah. Oh, wow. You know who it is.
Yeah, I know exactly who it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was there. He performed for about an hour. So he requested 30 to 45% brightness on the stage for his key lights to light him up, which was a little difficult because there was so much just natural light because it was a blimp hanger. So they had like windows up at the top there. So, but illuminated him a little bit. And his main primary colors that he wanted was white and red, and he did not want purples or pinks. Don't know why.
Know what you want.
But hey, yeah. And other secondary colors that we could use was like orange, I think a cyan, and a green from what I remember. So yeah, we were using the wolf mix. So I was just put in the colors that I wanted at what scene and go do your wolf mix magic. Wolf mix.
I'm not mad at that. Like, I actually think that's actually smart on his end to, like, if he's not coming in with like an LD or like a pre-programmed show, like coming in like just like a band would come in with like an input list or what they want from monitors, like coming in saying like, hey, I like this. Like, I think that's actually a really great idea. And I had not thought of that before.
Yeah.
I think I saw the pictures too. And I noticed that one of the things that I really liked that you guys did with the shocker panels was that you had them at an angle. And I thought that was a very cool, like, interesting way to do it. Was that gig?
Yeah. Yeah. That was it.
Yeah. That was very cool. Yeah. I liked that a lot. So awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did that and called it a day. And the rest of my week was messed up because I thought, like, Thursday was Friday and Friday was Saturday, and here we are. So
those like midweek events, like, man, they throw your whole week off.
yep.
I just had a networking event that I was doing, just basically sound for,
Yeah.
actually with one of our DJC friends, Matt Wengard.
Ooh,
He
yeah.
was speaking at our local WIPA chapter, and so I was mainly just doing audio for that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that event threw me off. I was like, oh, this is Tuesday. It's what? Oh, my week's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was that a little event recap that happened this week. I think you have a little rant for us. Do you?
I do.
Maybe? Ooh,
I
okay.
do.
Let me get my coffee.
I had a wedding this weekend. It was
Mhm.
great. The venue is good. Like, nothing fancy, but it was a fun wedding. And like, this is not throwing shade to my clients, but like, one of the things that got me was, we had the typical broken glass on the dance floor. They could not find a broom and a dustpan or a mop for the life of them. So when the first glass broke, like, I like finished up playing the song. I played another song. We still didn't have a broom or a dustpan, and like, people are like just kind of not really dancing anymore. And they're like, we were just getting to that point, like, where we were building it up. And it's, in Boston in the spring and June, the sun sets at like 8:30, like, so like, it is bright out. So it is sometimes a little bit of a struggle getting the dance floor going until it truly does get dark. So we were just getting there. It's just like, oh man. And I even played Annie Lennox Walking on Broken Glass in full, and we still were not cleaned up. And when the guy finally came out to clean it up, now my assistant, my event tech is down there with a flashlight, like trying to shine it so we can catch the glimmers of the glass on the floor, like trying to help clean it up. Their guests were trying to pick up the pieces. It's just like, and they finally get a broom. And what does he do? He starts pushing all the glass into the center of the dance floor instead of pushing it off to the side. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, literally standing, and I'm on a stage. There's people looking at me, and I'm just like trying to keep a straight face. And finally, just like, that way, go the other way.
Yeah.
I was just like, you're killing me. And then like, it happened 2 more times, and it was like the same thing. It was like, it took forever to get like the mop and the dustpan out. It's like, oh my God, like, you guys have weddings, you guys have events. Like, this is not anything that's new to anyone. If you're serving glassware and you have people dancing and they're drinking, this happens. You need to be prepared for it. So that was my main rant for that one. That was it ended up being a lot of fun. It was a great wedding. Nothing too crazy lighting wise. We just kind of did some of our basic stuff, but I was lucky enough that I had a drop ceiling over the stage that I was on, so I was able to use my Chauvet H1s up to wash the dance floor, which was very nice. I liked that a lot, so that was good. But yes, that's my rant. It's like switch to plastic for dancing, or make sure you know where your stuff is to clean up broken glass, because it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's always gonna happen. They did eventually switch to plastic. I was like, God.
Yeah, I believe that.
So
from there, I think we go right into our gear segment, and I have the perfect tool for all of the event professionals, especially for Brian. And here we are.
I
you need to get a broom and a dustpan.
I have literally thought about doing this and buying one and keeping it with me, just for this very purpose, because it's just like so. It's just one of those things that happens just so like often.
Broom and dustpan set. When you were telling this story, I literally went, I was like, yeah, let's get him a dustpan and broom. That would have helped. But yeah,
I might just do it.
You should. Why not?
I might just do it.
That was funny. Okay. But no, seriously, in the gear corner, new stuff. We can't say gear corner because I think Beyond the DJ booth has that non-trademarked. But anywho,
Joe's gonna sue you real quick. He's gonna be sliding into your DMs like, bro,
come on, man,
bro. We've done this teen times.
Oh gosh. But no, actually, I got an email from Danny Stowe, who is I'm pretty sure brother of Ben Stowe, who owns NFLX Professional. So I'm like on his like email list of like, it's not spam, but like when he gets like good deals and whatever, he sends over an email with all, new stuff. And something that actually caught my eye that I actually have been always looking for and just never really saw anything until now. It is the Circuit Q 2.0. And so this is from Colorado Sound and Light, but you can purchase this on NFLX on their website. Now, just quick little, disclaimer. We're not getting paid by NFL X Pro to talk about this, and anyone else that's that we're going to bring up here on the show. This is just pure like, hey, I came across this. I think it'd be cool, something to have in the tool bag. What's really cool is that not only does it measure voltage, but right here on this little sticker here, it says no light means on the same breaker or phase. And then when the light is fully lit, it's on a different breaker and phase. So I think that's kind of really cool, especially when you get into a venue that you either A, have never been to, or B, have always been curious of like, hey, are these on the same breaker when they're not like labeled? Venues that do have labels on their outlets, all the credit to you, and you are absolutely amazing because you make our lives so much easier. But I ended up getting one. It was $100 just to kind of have in the toolbox because I go to a lot of different places and I never know. I'm like, oh, we'll see if this is on the same circuit or not. But it's a nice little cool tool. Again, $100. Yeah.
So I have a usage question for you.
Yeah.
Now I know like electricians have something like this, and then you have to go to like the breaker and like it's like a plug and a pen kind of thing, and it like you can do that.
Yeah.
But you have to move it around. So how like does this you don't have to have like a second one, or like you don't have to have a second piece to it? Like it has like, how does that work? Do you know?
Dude, I have no idea. I am waiting for it to come in. So once I get this in and like actually can test it, I'll report back for sure. But it was just,
I need to follow up on that.
Yeah, no, for 100%.
I like it.
Yeah. So, and I think what I'll probably do is test it on like my power distro when I have it out on a show, because I know which breakers those are, just to see if it like will, register and whatnot. So yeah, we'll report back. So once I get this in.
I like it.
And then the next thing I wanted to show y'all's was just another company that does some really great work in terms of creating some great products. Is not only NFL X Pro with their cables and such, but there's another company called Elite Core Audio. Their website, elitecoreaudio.com. They make custom cables as well, but they also have stock products and they have road cases and all that stuff. But one of the things that I have a lot of their stuff is not only DMX cables, but also some road cases. They make some really great stuff. And what's really cool too is I have their feeder cable. So that's the black, red, blue, white, green cables. And they do custom branding. So I work with a lot of other companies. So like, it's really nice to have that company branding on there so that none of your cables get stuck in someone else's cases and you lose all that stuff. But they do some really cool stuff. Not only you can get the stock products that they have, but also too, they can make custom cables as well. They're pretty quick with them too, depending on how quickly you need them. And they also have sales like it's nobody's business. Like I even told the guy that when he emails me, I'm like, dude, you need to stop emailing me sales of stuff because like I'm just a sucker. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Like I just see the good pricing on like the feeder cable or, extension cords. I'm like, oh, damn it, I don't need this, but I actually do need this. So fine, let's just do it. And they got me on a case sale. They're like, oh, buy 2, get 1 free. And realistically it was what, all 3 of them are just heavily discounted. But bought 3 cases. Did I need them? Kind of, but no. But here we are. So yeah.
See, that is a company that I wasn't familiar with, so I'm definitely going to check them out. I do have a new piece of gear that I recently got as well.
Ooh, share.
And so I've been wanting to get, like, I know that the Humpter booths are super popular, and I don't like the cutout on the Humpter booth. And they have the Humpter Cube, which is supposed to be coming out, but it has been, seems like greatly delayed. I'm willing to bet that tariffs have something to do with it.
Ooh.
So it's not around yet. So this is what I got, and it's very new. Odyssey just came out with this, and I know, Canal Sound and Light in New York has been selling something like this, and I've thought about making the drive down to New York to get one, but this came out, and I, bought it, and I decided we'll give this a shot. And this is a very basic, booth. There's nothing too crazy about it. Very simple, but simple and clean. It's not, it says facade style, but it's not a facade. I mean, it's like it is a booth. It's a workstation, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. It is sturdy. I mean, it's built by a road case company, and it's kind of built like a road case without being, like an ugly road case. So very, very cool.
Brian, how tall are you?
I am 5'11".
5'11". And
I'm 5'11".
because you've already used this, right? With your controller on there, like, are you like hunching over a little bit, or is it like at a perfect spot for you, like, height wise?
it is at an acceptable spot for me height wise. I think let's see, so the top surface is 34 and a quarter inches from the ground.
Okay.
Let's see. Yes. Yeah, there it is. So I like to be at like 35 or 36, but this is workable for me. And I'm not hunched over. This is, my back is not hurting at the end of the night. So this is good. So far, I'm happy with it.
Well, your flaws. Sorry.
Yes, my flaws. Right here, you can see the approximate weight is 96 pounds. It is every single bit of that. This fucker is heavy. Excuse me. I know we're normally not an F word. Not an F word podcast.
Okay.
Occasionally we do. It's usually shit and other stuff, but this is heavy. And after my first gig moving it, I was like, this sucks. So I did go out and buy like a kind of like the Home Depot or like Lowe's like lumber carts that you see that have like the 3 railings. I bought one of those to move this thing, and that works actually perfectly. Really does a great job. Moves it, makes it a lot easier to move it. So I've only used it on 2 gigs, and my gig this weekend I used it with that cart. It was super easy to move and get it set up. So comes with cases. It's 2 bags. So you have one bag that is this big main part, and then the second bag, carries both of these shelves. One thing that I want to put out there, and like I said, I bought this right as it came out. So I should probably give this feedback to Odyssey. Their packaging for this is not great.
Yeah.
It definitely came with some things that I need to fix. So namely, one of the shelves, the way that they hook in is like there's, little like edges here. And one of the shelves, like the part that hooks into it was completely broken off. But it's wood, some wood glue, a clamp, a couple of screws. It's fixed, not a big deal. And honestly, the one that broke on me was the bottom shelf, which I'm not using anyways because I'm sliding my rolling racks underneath. So this just gets in the way. So I'm only using the top shelf. But the stability is good. Even I think some of these booths, like you need to have the shelves in to keep them stable. You do not need that. You do not need that with this. Okay. And like these hinges are locking hinges, and these things, like I said, it's built like a road case. So I think this will serve me good for a while. If the Humpter Cube ever makes it to the United States, I may consider spending the $2,500 to get that thing. But this is, depending on where you buy it from, you're going to spend $750 to $1,000 when it comes to shipping. A lot of places want to ship it freight, so that's going to be like a couple $100 to ship it freight because it is heavy. So, and for those of you that ask why I don't do a command center, much love to Joe. They're great, but I want something for my company that's a little bit more flexible, that I can drop in different controllers, turntables, CDJs, whatever I need to drop it onto it without having to get different cut face panels. I want something that's a little bit more flexible. So, if you have, if you are doing a gig in your SUV or your car, this is not for you. If you have a van, you're using a truck, I think this is for you. So,
yeah. Also, too, I mean, Brian, you do a lot of like just lighting jobs as well. So like this is a really great like workstation for you to like set up your, sound switch, Wolf Mix, Show Express, whatever you're running.
For sure.
They have a little station to put all that stuff, and then like a professional looking workstation if you're working with the DJ or a production company, whatever the case may be. That's really nice.
And even if you're running like, running audio, and you could put, not necessarily a full size touring mixer on this, but you can put, a mixer on this and run, and have this be your station as well. And it's clean. They do offer it in white. I've decided that I think I'm done with white. I think I'm sticking to black stuff because I think it's a little bit more on brand for me, and I hate cleaning and repainting everything all the time. So I'm just gonna stick with black. I've found that most events that really want the all white setup are usually higher end, and they're gonna get that stuff from a decor company. So I don't think I need to get white as much anymore. So
yeah, cool. I like that, man. That's it's very versatile, not only for the DJing side, but also too lighting, production. Like it's twofold. I like that. I like stuff that's versatile that you can use in all different realms versus like a one-off.
Yes,
so
for sure. So all right, we have to talk about our actual subject. I think, right? We have to talk about rigging.
Talking about rigging.
As we said, we are not certified riggers.
Nope.
We are not teaching you how to measure loads and do the structural calculations and engineering. And in fact, we're probably going to keep you away from even I don't know. Are we even going to talk about chain motors? I don't even want to touch chain motors. Like we're not actually going to really talk about that level of rigging because that's not what we do. That's not what most of you do. So make that very
some
clear.
People on Instagram might say otherwise, but hey, that's Instagram, and they probably should watch the whole show. Yeah. So
we've seen some things too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the only thing that we might touch on rigging is like where at least one of the marketplaces where you can get stuff like specifically like clamps or slings. And again, we're not certified. Just want to put that out there. So don't give us shit. I'll give you shit back.
With a few exceptions, mostly everything that we're going to be discussing is going to be ground support.
Yes.
And and not over people's heads for the most part.
And we're going to look at that. We have an example, and it's like, this is not how you're supposed to do it. This is what you should have done type thing. So with that, we're going to start off pretty simple and easy, and I'm sure everyone has heard and or have seen this product. It is the Gravity stand from Gravity. I don't know where they're based out of. I think Germany, maybe.
I'm pretty sure Germany.
I don't know.
I think Adam Hall is the distributor for them in the U.S., which like basically I'm pretty sure they distribute all the German brands in the U.S.
Okay, perfect.
So like LD and stuff like that.
Perfect lighting stand / speaker stand for simplistic setups. It's great because they have multiple Gravities have multiple positions that you could put with the pole, which is really great. They have the accessories. I've seen the roll.
You said multiple positions that they can put the pole.
Oh God, Jesus. Well, this just turned to rated R episode.
I had to. I had to. I'm sorry. In fact, actually, this is the older. I think this is the older base plate too.
Is it? Probably
because
the
OGs.
One.
Well, the OG. Well, I mean, it's probably on them for not updating it because the OGs look like that, but the new ones have multiple spots.
Maybe it's this one. There it is. I just clicked the wrong link from. Yeah, there you go. Wait. There's the multiple positions. Hey, gabagool. And of course you can put it in a row. Oh, wow. I didn't know you could put it in a row case like that. Sweet. That's cool.
Yeah.
Come with the bag. Ooh, they even changed this up. That's new.
Yep. I don't have these ones, but I have those plates.
Okay. It's Touring Series lighting stand with square steel base. But hey, it's a great option. If you don't have one of these, invest in one of these because I think they're really cool.
I've got like 4 of them and I love them.
Yeah.
They're great. I mean, they're totally worth it. And especially for, when I first bought them, I was moving in my Forerunner to events and I wasn't bringing totems and I glow tubes, like the glow totems with like that was not my vibe. I think I had some of those like pop-up tent style like totems. I had 2 of those. Not my vibe. These are cool.
Yeah.
These are good. I like these.
And then from another company, Chauvet, they have their flex stand and they also have their flex stand ILS. So
we know that guy. He's been on the show before.
Yeah. Alan Reese. Go check out his episode. You learn a lot from how they just in general, how the market brings fixtures to life. Flex stand, same thing. I think the bases are actually a little bit heavier than the Gravity stands. And I do know that they have the feet can turn. So if you're not on an even performance surface, you can kind of level that out, which is really great. And then they also have, it's not only the click style, but also the tightening too. So you have like 2 ways to tighten it so it doesn't drop on you. It is not piston driven, I'm pretty sure. No, I don't think it is. But of course, then they have the ILS, which I can just quickly share that. So if you're looking to have like a built-in light in your fixture, it's really cool. Works with the ILS command, or you can just, run, raw dog hit type thing. So however you want to go.
I'm willing to bet the weight limits are substantially different though, between this and the other one.
Let's see. Weight combined.
Load capacity, 132 pounds.
There you go.
All right. What's the other one? I'm just I don't know this for a fact. I'm just guessing because of the fact that
load capacity 150 for the normal.
Okay. So not significantly different, but something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
And load capacity is a very important thing to know about.
Yes. Oh, wait. Yeah. So this one holds a little less. So yeah, I couldn't find it on the first one. So you have like a built-in light strip, which is cool if it floats your boat.
While we're on these, I want to show off a piece of gear too, because it's an accessory that I have bought that has come in really, really handy on these. And this is not a gravity, although I think they actually do have something like this now. I should actually look. But this is an Amazon find.
Ooh.
And I use it. I use them a lot. Let me show you guys. So very, very, very Amazonish, for sure. But this is a flat bar, like T-bar, mini T-bar. And I do have the big, long T-bars I can throw on the top of a gravity stand if I want to. But I really like these because they're simple and they're small and they don't take up a lot of space. So if I'm trying to stick the gravity stand into a corner and I don't have the space to run, a 4.5 foot T-bar, this is great because it's like 1.5 feet. And I'm not, I generally am only putting a couple of lights on anyways. So, which is really cool. And these ones are steel. So we've talked about them plenty of times on this show. The Xiaomi Freedom H1s, which are magnetic. I don't even need to do any bolts on them. I can literally just stick them right to this and they hold like crazy. I also have done this with my pin spots. Use these to stick my pin spots on them. Again, magnetic, works really, really well. You get 2 of them for like $50 on Amazon. They're great, great thing to have in your toolkit. But I think I did see that. I think Gravity might have something out like this, so I will have to look into that. But
looking currently at it.
Yes.
They have something similar. It's not like totally the same. I do know that they have one for like, if you wanted to put 2 speakers, on a stand.
Yeah, I have that one. And you could actually probably just take the speaker mounts off of that and get the same idea.
Right.
Sorry, it's very loud right now. There's like 15 helicopters flying over my house. They're coming for me.
Oh boy. And plus 2, I actually, with the gravity stands, I purchased their TV mount like adapter and put it on my TV. And that was actually really clutch. So I do a lot, again, with production. So being able to kind of have a little system that, is better than bringing truss with bases and then having to, mount your wall mount for your TV to the truss. This one was a lot easier and simpler to get with. So takes up less room too.
And whether you're using the flex stand or the gravity stand, one of the things I really like about this style is that they're easy to hide.
Yes.
Like a truss totem is hard to hide. And you have to decide whether you're putting a scrim on it or if you're lighting it up or whatever. Like these, if it's a dark room, you can keep them black like that and hide them in a corner and no one sees them. Yeah. I've bought pipe and drape like sleeves for mine. So if I want to switch them to white, I can put those on. Yeah. But like they're just easy to hide, or you can mount a tube light to them, or you can mount other things to them and they blend in. So definitely like I like these over totems almost any day of the week.
Yeah. Speaking of tubes and tube lights, something that exists out there is if you specifically have the Astera tubes, something that's out there is MagForce. Again, this is not sponsored by B&H. This is literally just a Google search. I have this kit at my shop. Really great and really strong magnets for your tubes. So if you need to adhere them to a steel beam or any type of that structure, you have that flexibility and option. And they have different thread lengths, or not thread lengths, but like lengths. So if you need to get a little bit more distance or get it tighter, closer to the magnet, you have that ability. So it's a really great tool to have in the toolbox. Again, these are for Asteras, but I'm actually going to show you another product that our good friend Joe, who hopefully doesn't send me a cease and desist for copying their catchphrase there, is parts for DJs. Again, not sponsored, just want to put this out there. They have clamps for tubes. They have mounts to go on top of your column arrays to mount lights, or I'm guessing lights. Like, I don't know what else you would put up there. But
I think I would only put PARs up. I want to like make that very clear. Like, I would not use those for moving heads. And I don't know if it says that necessarily on the site. But let's please, for the love of God, do not put a moving head on one of those. And if it doesn't say that, Joe, you should put that on there.
Yeah. I mean, all
product
of the
details.
stuff that he's showing.
Details. Yeah.
Where product details. No.
You should put a warning up there, Joe.
Yeah. But you can go to the website, click whatever speaker you have. I have the Evolve 12. Boom. Look at that. Sick. I can put my non-existent Ape Lab fixture up there. They have some. Oh, they have the wash. Oh, no, that's the. I don't know if that's the wash effects or if that's the knockoff. I'll say what I say. I said what I said. I don't give a F. It's battery powered. I don't give a shit.
I think it's ugly too. Whether it's the Xiaomi version or the knockoff version, I think it's ugly.
Yeah.
So I don't own them.
Yep. So there's that. We got some got some tools. So if you're, and of course, he's got different ones too. They got the tube clamps. So, Astera's, Ape Labs, or, the
Oh,
both, whatever the
I
frick.
didn't see they had the Ape Labs ones yet. So that's good. That's good to
Yeah.
know.
So
All
adhere to
right.
whatever you have, your different poles and whatnot. So they kind of did the calculations for you. So whatever you got, you can roll with it. So just a plethora of stuff. Tubes, of course, clamps for your cables, and then other stuff that will probably work more for probably the bun booth or, any other adherence that you might need. So which is kind of cool. This looks like it's for the Wolf Mix. Wolf Mix and
Yeah.
sound control. So look at that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. And then kind of expanding on the Astera side of things, if you do have the Asteras, someone actually on this podcast got me hip to this literally a couple of minutes ago. Andruki, is that how you say it?
That's how I say it. Yeah.
Okay. So this company, pretty much the same thing like MagForce. They have a kit, which is really nice about this is that they have a small kit and then they have like a medium kit. And the pricing, of course, is a lot different. So you got that. And then, of course, the Pro kit, #1, which is a little bit more. But they also have some other adapters. Like here, if you have the AX5 uplights from Astera, they have this mounting double magnet. I've actually seen these in use and I was always like, what are those? Where did they get this? And then, of course, when Brian told me about this product and I saw this, I was like, oh, that's where they got it. So,
And I have a bunch of those things, and they are very, very useful, especially if you
yes.
are in like an industrial venue.
Mm-hmm.
They come in so handy, and they're quick. So
Yes.
you
That's what we're always looking for. And then, of course, they have like these pool noodle things to kind of help diffuse and kind of, help with your lighting looks. So like over here, you can kind of see like a BTS photo of it and what it looks like. I think this is some really good stuff. Like I'm going to have to spend some money. I'm sure
Sorry.
a lot of DJs probably don't have the actual, where is it? The bulbs from Astera, but they have this adapter to make it look like it's like an actual fixture in whatever venue you're at, which I think is stellar. This is sweet.
Real slick. These are really, really cool.
So,
and that one too, I think that you just highlighted, you can connect a battery pack to it as well if you need to.
yeah, like this, and right here, there you go. So different colors you can attach, make a really cool statement piece for any type of event that you're doing. I can see this being more prevalent if you have an outdoor wedding in a tent and you kind of need some, reinforcement of some more lights, but not kind
I
of like
didn't
bistro lights.
even think about that. That is like that's
So
a
instead
really
of
good idea.
setting up bistro lights, like
I hate bistro lights.
I know I
I don't
setting them up.
I don't like hate them, but I hate the way that they are implemented 90% of the time, which is like not on a dimmer, not sectioned off, like, and making everything way too bright. Oh, you can get a hat too.
Yeah, little hat, little winter hat too, if you're in the Boston area.
Yeah. Actually, keep on that. Like these are awesome. Nope,
Yeah.
go down. The clip. Scroll back down. The clip with the magnet. These are fantastic. Like, because they're low profile. Again, you can stick them. I use something similar with my tube lights a lot when I have the ability to use them. And it's a really, really cool way to mount things cleanly and quickly, and I do have to say, like, they only work. I mean, I have not actually held an Ape Labs tube, so I don't know what the weight is. I know they work well with I know they'll work well with an Astera. They'll work well with the weird ones that I have, which at some point I should talk about those. And I don't think that I would be cautious about using them with a well stick because well sticks are heavy, the Chauvet ones. And I would be cautious about you trying to use something like this with any of the 360 tubes, like both, whatever you're doing, just because they're so heavy. And that is definitely something that you need to think about if you are using magnets with your lights, is you should really have to work hard to pull the light off once it's stuck to something. If it's not hard to pull the light down, it is not strong enough and it is not safe. And we're going to talk more about this.
Let's go on. Okay, cool. And what else? I did that one. We did that one. Another one, it's going to sound very stupid, but is the standardized C stand, very well versed and used in the video world. But hey, if you're kind of doing a little bit more production work and even too, like just normalized design work, these are really great for, mounting your front lights for stage if you're, in a different area positioned off
My light right now is literally on a C-stand.
Look at that.
It's like,
You can use it for your podcasts and
exactly.
stuff like that. So
Mine has
and of
wheels. It's fantastic. I love it.
yeah, this is very basic, like a starting point, and then from there, like what Brian said, like you can get the one that has the wheels or the one that has the arm that extends and all that fun stuff. It's really great, and of course you have to get the connectors for it as well. So like don't just buy this and expect your light to immediately clamp to it, but like you're gonna have to get a baby pin or baby clamp. I think it's called baby pin.
Yeah, baby pin.
To fit on that, you attach it to your light yoke.
And Brent will sick his dogs on you if you do it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
They're already pissed off at you.
Yes, that's why I was kind of like talking and kept talking over it so that you don't actually hear it. Hopefully you don't hear it in post, but if you do, sorry. But hey. But again, and it's movable and all that fun stuff. There's other companies that are out there on Amazon that that sell on there too that I've used before. So it's kind of whatever you're looking for.
And these are like a C-stand like on wheels, and like there's obviously like production grade stuff, like there's like ladder trusses that you can put on base plates with wheels. But this is the kind of thing, like if you have to do a room flip for dancing or like whatever, like having something set up on wheels so you can get it all pre-rigged and have it ready to go and out in a service hallway or out in another room and just to roll it in quick is like a huge hack and time saver. Makes your life a lot easier for sure.
Yep. So again, this is more like video world type stuff, but again, to Brian's point, wheel that shit in and get it set up quickly.
And you can learn a lot from the film world when it comes to lighting about mounting things, moving things quickly, getting things in the right place, because that's the name of the game, and they're doing it without you seeing any of it. It's not always, obviously, like, oh yeah, you set up the shot so you don't see it, but like not all the time. Like you have to do things, so it's definitely worth learning from them.
For sure.
We'll have Lauren on again, and we've talked about that. He has a film background. That's where he comes from, and he can definitely get way more into that. And I think we actually have told him that we want to do that at some point as well. So it would be that'll be a good episode to discuss some of the stuff that we can steal from film and use to bring into our world. But we also have to talk to you about how to do things right and how to do things wrong. And we've touched on some of it already. And one of the things, actually, Brent and I were just talking about this off air. A lot of people are getting into the video walls now. The price is coming down. We're seeing a lot more DJs doing them. And this is where you need to have some knowledge to do it safely. So I'm going to share my screen. Brent has seen this picture. This is not like a blind, like, oh my God, react kind of thing for him. But I'm going to share a picture right now that we're going to discuss it. I think it's better to just show it. So this is a picture. This is a video wall, big video wall. I will say that some of you may recognize this video wall, but I'm not going to get into that. But we are going to get into a couple of things here. Brent owns a video wall. So maybe, Brent, do you want to signal something out right off the bat that you see that's wrong with this picture?
Like Brian says, I do have this. I've set up video walls multiple times. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. And this has a lot of wrong to it. One is there's no counterweights to the bases. You need to have sand on those truss bases. I don't care if those are 300-pound truss bases. There's right ways and there's wrong ways. This photo, absolutely wrong. I don't care if the truss bases are steel and they're 300 pounds of weight at the bottom. There is so much like top counterweight at the top where this could potentially fall over. You never know. I mean, I don't know if this was the hotel stage or the production company stage, but anywho, you should have sandbags. And I don't know, Brian, if you can kind of hover your mouse over what I'm talking about. Like on the bases, there should be at least probably 50 to 100 pounds of weight at the bases where you kind of see that black, where that square is.
That is not a sandbag. That is just like a piece of
cloth,
stage skirt.
Something. Yeah. 2, when you order your video wall, you should always be getting clamps with them. Some type of, they hook onto the video panels and then you attach it to truss. I absolutely do not see any clamps attached to the truss at all. Here's the thing with ratchet straps. They work great for specific uses. For this use, no. You're literally relying on 2 pieces of metal, thin pieces of metal that are literally clicking together to hold this whole wall up. And now, mind you, there are 3 or 4 truss towers on here, but you're literally putting your show and your client at risk. There should be
And your
a
talent.
clamp. Yes. Anyone that steps on that stage, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a 5th one at the far end, but
There
this
is a
is
5th one at the
unacceptable.
far end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just because you have 2 ratchet straps on each truss, like, does not make it safe. I will die on this hill. Like
the ratchet straps, like, it's not like we're not saying don't use them,
Yeah.
but use them in conjunction with. Like,
Right.
ratchet straps should be like a safety cable on your light. They are a backup, fail-safe kind of thing. They're not the main part.
And here's another thing too. Your video walls, if you purchase the right ones, they should come with header blocks. And those are like the feet. So at the bottom, Brian, if you can kind of zoom in for me where that yellow extension thing is, there should be a piece of like thick metal that technically would adhere to, it's your rigging bar pretty much, but it has feet so that you can either put it ground stacked it, or you can rig it to a piece of truss if you're flying it out.
And you can see that gap too between the from the base plate of the truss.
And what they're probably doing is resting that one that's on the truss base, and then that weight is literally just floating on there. You shouldn't be doing that to your panels overall. I know this is a lighting podcast and we're talking about video walls right now, but like that will just destroy your pixels, and then you're going to have to replace your panels and such. So you shouldn't do that. Personally, I mean, there's probably other people that have other opinions on it, but like I don't want to spend money if I don't need to because of stupidity. Again, clamps that literally attach to your video panels, they have rigging points to all of them, because if you were to put this in a permanent install, you would have, to lock all of those things down. Now, I know they have their clamps in, to secure it on the sides and then the tops and bottoms. Still, there's good gosh.
And even better than using truss towers is like, if you are going to make the investment in a video wall and you're going to ground mount it, buy the specific like truss mounting, products that they make for that purpose.
Yeah,
that
the ground stacking
outriggers that have outriggers that are set up for you to do that, to make it safe. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if it looks amazing if it's not safe, because the second that someone bumps into that video wall, and if like someone's backstage and they've had a few to drink and they lean on it the wrong way, that thing's going to come crashing down. It's not going to take a lot to push this over.
I will say that this is my backup setup when it comes to not this specific setup, but when you are limited on space for either backstage or on stage moment, because when you have your ground support structure for a video wall, it takes up about 4 feet. And that's kind of depending on, sometimes it'll include the video wall too, but that gives you all that weight to then throw all your sand and weight on. But also too, it's going to be secure. Now, when you're limited on space, this is my second option, but this is not how I would do it. Like, you're still using the clamps that you would for your ground support structure for the truss. Attach it to the truss. There's going to be a little bit of gap, but you're going to lose a little bit, but not as much as the ground support. Put all your counterweight on the base and not use ratchet straps. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So,
and I can't wait for someone to be like, "Oh, I use it all the time and it's fine." We'll chat in the comments.
Until it's not. It's fine until it's not.
Because it's the DJs that think that, oh, I can do that, and they buy it, and then they get a wall, they set it up, and then it falls or something happens, and then it ruins it for everyone else. So fucking stop. Sorry, my French. Like that, this actually really pisses me off. And when you actually sent it to me whenever ago, I was fuming, because it's like, that is so unprofessional. Again, I know I'm not certified rigging or whatnot, but that's not safe. Absolutely not safe.
And we did crop this photo a little bit to protect the parties involved. And also because I know that there's a case that had a company name on it, and that company was not actually the company doing this. So that is, we made a point of cropping that out, because I knew that was not the company that was doing this. So
two other companies I kind of wanted to share in terms of, again, we're not saying to do rigging or whatnot, but if you needed to get clamps or the right stuff for this, again, consult with a local certified professional when it comes to shackles or slings or whatever the case may be. This is a company, MTN Shop, where you can get all of this rigging stuff. Plus, you can also get the right clamps.
Yes.
They have the slings, they have the wire ropes, but also too they have the cheese burrows, the different types of clamps that you may or may
Such a
not
fun
need.
name,
Yes, cheese burrows,
Cheeseboro.
and then the
I'll go back.
swivel, and then the fixed.
The marquee clamps. I like those.
Where-
Down, 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 down there, all the way to
Right
the
here.
right.
This one.
If you're working in like an aluminum structure tent and you want to put like a power light up or something like that, like
Ooh.
these are cool things to have. Like they're
Mhm.
really cool to be able to like just slot things in quick. Better
Yep.
than using a zip tie.
So again, we're not saying to rig shit, but this is, another source to where you can find the right equipment that is trusted by other professionals, that is used all the time from companies like this. And plus,
So
too,
show
if
this.
you need some, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, well, yeah. All right. Go ahead. All right, I will go. So right here, you're looking at slings. So slings are very much used when you are hanging truss overhead. This is something that you, for the most part, need to have someone professionally trained in doing it.
Yep.
It. I own one sling, and it is for one use and one use only, and pretty much for one venue that I work in. And the only reason I have that sling is to hang my disco ball. I use that and some good shackles to hang the motor and hang my disco ball. And like, that's it. Like, that's like one of the only rigging things that I will touch is hanging a disco ball in a venue that is well set up for me to do it in. But otherwise, like, I am not doing that unless it's like a venue where I can use like strong clamps, things like that on metal beams that like I'm not putting up truss. I'm not hanging super heavy weight over people's heads. So you got to be so careful about it.
Yep. And then the last company that I wanted to chit chat about was Entertainment Fabrication. I've used them, actually a lot of their products now. This is a great company if you have box truss and you need some sturdy options when it comes to either base plates, TV mounts, touring options and solutions. But one in particular that I use all the time is with my box truss, not box truck, is this pole mount. So if I have a totem and I want to hang two movers or pars or whatever the case may be, this is stellar. Like, this piece of metal is heavy. It is heavy duty. You put a Schedule 40 pipe that you can get at Home Depot, or, well, I would say Home Depot. You can get some at Menards as well if you have a Menards. Lowe's is hit or miss sometimes, but
or any plumbing supply place will have it too.
Yep. 1.5 inch Schedule 40 gas pipe is another name for it. It's heavy duty, and it kind of allows you to, be a little flexible in how, your setups can be. Again, this is a little bit more pro/production level type stuff, but again, if you're looking for that option, this is great.
Yeah. But on the Schedule 40 pipe, right? Like, I think it's an interesting thing, and we didn't talk about this beforehand, but I think it's an interesting thing that we should talk about because that is what the gravity stands are based off of. They're based off of the old style theater production, an Altman 50 or 75 pound round cast iron base plate that you just screw Schedule 40 pipe into. That is the whole concept. And that is like very OG, but it's also, you still see it a lot. You still see it all over the place because those base plates don't go bad. The Schedule 40 pipe doesn't go bad and it doesn't break. So you will see a lot of production companies that still use it. Interesting thing too that I want to touch base on. Now, Brent, do you have bolt truss or do you have spigot truss?
I have bolt.
I like bolt truss better. I don't use truss personally. I have used it in the past. In my company, I don't use it, but when I have done corporate production work, touring production work, we've used it. And I think that I like it more because I think it's easier to work with and you're not the pins, and I don't know. I just don't like it. I know global truss is big in the DJ community. Lots of people have it. Lots of people use it, but I don't know. There's something about it's just something about it that I don't like. So
yeah.
Tomcat is a big company for the bolt-on truss. I don't know what you use, but
we got Tomcat. We have Show Solutions, Thomas, and the other one is Generico. It's another company, but they're all versatile. They pretty much mate the same way. The only reason why I used to have all global truss when I first started out, but it was just the hammering of it, and we were just doing a little bit more bigger shows that requested box truss. So it kind of just, we were like, you know what, let's sell everything and just have box truss. And plus two, it's true to this actual size. So if you need a 10-foot stick, you have a 10-foot stick. With global truss, it's like 9.8 8, 9, or
It's metric.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never that true form. So like if we're doing banners and stuff, like we're making a structure, it's not a true 10 by 10 structure or whatever the case may be. So it just makes, designing it a little bit difficult. So,
Less loud because you're not using the hammer.
right.
And
Yes.
I think
You just
and
hear
I
a
think
lot of
it's yeah, I think it's
the
quicker to put
ratchets.
together. I mean, in my toolkit back when I was doing a lot of corporate production, like I had my 15/16, ratchet and wrenches, and I could just sit there and do it, and it's just I feel like it's quick and easy. So if you're
Yeah.
looking into the truss game, like yes, global truss is everywhere. All the DJs use it, and like that's something to remember too. It's like if you need to get more, what do other people have? But if you're moving
Mhm.
more to the production area, or you want to go in that direction, I think bolt truss is probably your better bet for the long run. So you're not like
Yeah.
Brent and having to sell everything and rebuy it.
Right. And plus too, like you're investing in it and you can get your money back because of rentals. Like someone might need, X amount of trusts and you can, hey, send it out, which is really great. For me, I'm always looking for what else can it do? Like allow that product make money when it's not going out on all the, shows or whatever. So, and I feel like just trust it in general is like that is like gaff tape. Like you always need trust in some regards,
Yes.
either from a structure, rigging, or just a place for decor or the florist to hear stuff to or whatever, which is nice. So,
I think there's one thing that we still need to touch base on before we call a wrap on this
mhm.
is, and safety has been an overarching theme of this, but I think we need to talk about safety cables
Yes.
and, and safely putting things in places where they could fall. So
Mhm.
if you don't know what a safety cable is, actually, do I have one right next to me? Oh, no, I don't. Oh, sorry. You need one. And most of your lights, like most of your like moving heads and stuff like that, like your bigger lights, they're going to come with a safety cable. And I can't even talk about how many times I have seen DJs set up moving heads on trusses that don't have a safety on them. Like you see it all the time.
Safety cable.
$6.68, people.
Yeah. And this is probably more on the high end because this is from Full Compass and the light source, but you can get them all different types and styles and such.
The amount of
Just make
money
sure.
that $6 will save you in the long run
Mm-hmm. Oh,
for your insurance, and if someone sues you, like having a safety
yep.
cable will make a difference, because I will tell you, if something falls on someone, the first thing that the lawyers are going to look at is, did you have a safety cable?
Yep. Yep.
And if
Anytime
you had a
that
safety
stuff
cable, it
goes
probably
up.
didn't fall on someone.
Right. Exactly. And a lot of these fixtures have it either built in or something that you see that eye bolt that is sticking out from the fixture where you're going to have to adhere it to. So it's already there, built into the
Mhm.
fixture in some capacity. So just do it. Anytime that it's up in the air, safety cable.
And something's going to fall at some point.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yep. Yep.
Like I've had it happen. I'm sure Brent has had it happen. Something will fall at some point.
Oh, yeah.
So save yourself money in the long run and the headache, and have a safety cable.
Yep.
We touched on using magnets, and some of those lights, so things like the H1s, the Freedom H1s, which again, like we said, we talk about all the time. Things like a pin spot, like they're not really set up to have a safety cable. We know this, but they're also not a 25 to 50 pound or more fixture. They're a lighter fixture, still going to suck if it falls on someone. But it also goes back that those have been designed with magnets that are strong, that are going to take some effort to move. So one of the things that, like, I use magnets a lot. I know our friend Lauren uses them a lot, and you have to stress test them if you're going to use them. Like you have to try to pull them down. If you are going to be having a big booming system, like you brought out your double 18 subs, or you brought out your bass boss, whatever, just anything bass boss, and you're using it and it's going to be loud and bouncing, like you need to put everything up, clear the floor from everyone, and get it to show level and sustain it for a while to make sure that they're not going to rattle out of where you have them. So, they are not, we see a lot of magnets that there's a lot of people that use it. They are not an industry standard certified rigging tool. And you need to know that as well.
Yeah.
So be safe, be thoughtful if you're using them about where you're putting them, minimizing the potential for them to fall, minimizing the potential for them to interact with people if they do fall. You have to be very conscious about how you use them. So, I mean, my show this past weekend, I had the H1s. I was on a stage. I had drop ceiling above me on the stage, and I used my H1s and I put them up on the drop ceiling with the magnets. But if they were coming down, the only person they were coming down on was me. So
yeah. Yep. So to kind of recap and overview, I know we only talked about some things that are out there in terms of light stands and the rigging side of things. There's plenty of other things that we probably missed, but these are kind of like our big things that we are personally using, but also to like just great options to look at and consider for both aspects, like DJ side, or if you're getting a little bit more in the production side with the C stands. And then of course, reviewing a video wall setup and how that should not happen. There should always be like at least 2 point of contact with when it comes to rigging. You should have that clamp. And then, here's the thing too, like if they had the clamp, if they had multiple clamps on that truss and they had the ratchet strap around it too, that's fine. Then that's like
wouldn't even be talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact that there was literally no clamp from frame of the video wall to the truss, nah.
And that was like a 20-foot wide wall and probably about 10 feet tall. I was there in person. I did not take that picture. I will be honest. I stole that, but I was at this event, and that was a big wall. So
yeah, and you have to think too, the people on stage, like, yeah, that stage deck is right there, but like stage decks are connected in some capacity. So when you're walking or moving or someone gets hype and is jumping around, like there's all that movement too that you have to consider. Yeah. Like if it's on carpet, like the carpet's not like flat, so there's just that would, oh my God, like I would have fired some people if I showed up and that was my show. Like,
yeah,
that would have just been unacceptable. So anywho, that should wrap this episode of light stands, rigging, and our normal rants and stuff.
I feel like there's so much more about this. I feel like we're gonna touch on this again.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch on it because I'm sure there's going to be people in the comment section are going to be like blah 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 blah. Watch the full episode, and 2, we'll have a part 2 probably, most likely. Yeah. Yes.
Send us your thoughts or ideas or questions or concerns, and I'd be happy to talk about them.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll catch you on the next episode. We'll see you Tuesday. And of course, if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel and Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please do follow along as we're always posting, bringing some great content to you. And we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.